Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Thursday! Happy second recording. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well this season. I have a word for you. Tap in. Happy Thursday, guys. Happy second recording. Currently driving, so please bear with me with all this background noise. Wanted to jump on really quickly. No matter how bad you want something, someone, or someplace, no matter how bad you want it, no matter how much you yourself want to make it work, to force it to work, if it's not the will of God, it's not going to work. If it's not the will of God, it's not going to work. Anytime God calls you to something, someone, someplace, there's an ease. Now, it's not to say that it's easy per se, because there are going to be, of course, certain things that you encounter throughout that process. But there's not a frustration. There's not a struggle. There's a difference. Okay, let's speak in the regards to relationships right now. Okay, we all know relationships are work. It's work. But never it should be a struggle. There's a difference in working for something or towards something, and then there's a difference with struggling with something. If you are struggling with something, you have to really ask yourself, is this the will of God? Because one thing personally, that I've learned is if it's not in alignment for God's will for my life, He won't back it. He won't back it. It's almost like, okay, listen. Okay, you got yourself in this. For whatever reason, it could have been disobedience, which is not often for me, but whatever, we're human, right? You got yourself in this. I'm not going to back it. I'm not going to support it because this was never my will. But what I'll do is I'll give you grace to get yourself out. Okay? I will allow something to happen. I will allow it to disappoint you. I will allow it to hurt you. I will allow it to whatever, right? There's going to be a grace for you to walk away because it's going to disturb you so bad. Or better yet, I'm going to disturb your spirit about it so bad that you will never have peace with it. Right? So there's things that He will do to give you that motion to move forward. The issue is, again, that many times we get comfortable as people. The thing can be hurting and harming you, but you're comfortable with it. It's toxic, but you're comfortable with it. You're used to it. And as human beings, many of the times, while I raise my hand, speak for myself, I don't like change. I like what I like. Once I get comfortable with it, I that's where I want to be. That's just me, right? Bars. Okay. Listen, I'm just going to keep it real. You can cry, you can beg, you can scream, you can shout, you can kick. You will not move God's hand towards a situation that He never ordained for your life. You got yourself in it. He will help you to get out. If you decide to refuse and you want to stay because whatever reason, right? Again, me personally, I move obedience over emotion. Honey, I've had to walk away from some things. I've had to walk away from some things, from some people, from some places that only obedience could have allowed me, convicted me to walk away from. Because I like what I like. But once I hear from God, right? Because see, He'll start giving you convictions. It's almost like well, I guess depends on the situation. Sometimes He'll snatch that rug, honey, and snatch your edges at the same time, right? But sometimes He'll slow walk it. I guess it depends on how sensitive you are at the time. Meaning, let's just say you're going through a grieving process, or there's a broken heart. There's something you're going through. So He knows you're already struggling in that area. So He knows that you're already vulnerable and weak right now. So what He'll do is He'll nudge you, right? He'll nudge you a little bit more. It's very gentle. But you know that you know something is coming up. So He gives you a little bit of peace, a little bit of nudging convictions at a time, almost so that He's preparing you And then eventually he's going to tell you, all right, now it's time to bounce. It's time to leave. Now, listen, this is when I like to move. I like to move when I know he's telling me, okay, now you're strong enough to go ahead and take the step. Go ahead and leave. Because one thing I know, if you don't leave when that ball is in your court, honey, he will allow it to leave you. So now you're not dealing with the hurt of having to walk away. Now it's double. So now you're dealing with the hurt of the having to leave it or having it no more in your life. But now it's double because now you're dealing with what looks like a betrayal. Right? Because he's going to snatch your rug, meaning he's going to allow them to hurt you. So if you were to walk when he told you to walk, you just got to deal with one hurt, which really is just the kind of the feeling of, I guess, maybe abandonment seeds or rejection. Not, well, if you're walking, it's not really rejection, but it can feel like that, right? It can feel like that. But the ball is in your court during this time. But if you keep making your head hard and he knows he has to pull you from this situation in order to save your life, in order to get you back in alignment with purpose and calling, he will allow them to hurt you. So now that pain is going to be double. So I like to move when I hear him tell me to move, because I already know if I don't move, honey, like, listen, right? But ultimately, I just jumped in really quick to say this. I was talking to somebody. I just left the gym. I was talking to this young lady at the gym, and oh, honey, frustration is all over her face. You guys know, like, when you're in a toxic relationship that's not meant for you, or just toxic in general, you can see it all over somebody's face. There's a heaviness. There's a look of frustration, disappointment, hurt. Just, you're drained, right? But then you see a glow on a person once they leave a person. Once they encounter a new person who's a healthy person, there's a different kind of glow. So you go from doom and gloom to just like you're glowing. You're glowing. So she's in that gloom and doom place, and I was like, sis, listen, I hear you truly. I'm glad that I can be a shoulder at the shoulder press, right, as I'm listening to you. But listen. If God didn't, and she knows without a doubt, God didn't, like, the way that she encountered this person, like, it was somebody else's man, let's just say that. The way she encountered this person, regardless if you're not messing around and caught feelings, the way you encountered that person, and the fact that obviously that was never even from God, right? He's going to give you grace to leave, grace to get out. He's already told you to get out, but yet you like what you like and you want what you want. So he's going to let him keep stressing you out. He's going to let him keep stressing you out. But you can't go back and ask God to bless something that he never put together. God is not going to bless a mess, honey. God is not messy like us humans. God is not going to bless a mess. So if you want to find happiness again, you're going to have to let your heart break one time by leaving. Okay? And he's going to give you grace. You'll get over it. You're going to have to let your heart break by leaving. Go through a healing process. And then wait on him to get you back aligned to who, what, and where is meant for you. That's the only way you're going to find peace. Let me tell you, there is nothing more grown, nothing more sexy than having a person in your life and you guys are in proper alignment. There's no struggle. There's no stress. There's no doubt. There's no disturbance of your spirit. It's just peace, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely pure, and it's beautiful. There's nothing like being in alignment with the things and the people that God has for your life. We got to understand that life is a journey. So even when we meet people, like we can't meet a person and then think in our minds that this is going to be the only person ever that I ever encounter. So even though they're toxic, even though it's not from God, I just have to lock on to it because it's a person that I like and I don't know if another one's going to come. It's part of the journey. Now, granted, of course, you can be with the person that truly is your life partner or your kingdom spouse or whatever. But a lot of the times, you just got to see it as they just pass through to teach you a lesson. So you got to be fluid. You can't be locked on to people so much so that if God decides to remove them, that you're going to lose your mind. No, sometimes he removed these people to send you something better. I don't know who this is for, right? I don't know who this is for because it ain't for me, honey, because everything in my life right now, every person in my life right now, honey, is something serious. Something serious. Something serious. So it ain't for your girl, right? But I just want to jump on really quickly because it was a download, right? So this is for you. Tap in at your girl, Kizzy Rock.